Okay, so this is problem number 2, page 685, exercise set 22, C.2, Hasten Harris, IB Mathematics, higher level. All right, particle P is initially at the origin O. It moves with the velocity function blah. Write a formula for displacement. The integral of velocity gives me displacement. So S of t is equal to the integral of t squared minus t minus 2 dt, which is equal to t cubed over 3 minus t squared over 2 minus 2t plus c. Okay, but we know if it's initially at the origin, this tells us that s of 0 is equal to 0. And if I replace t with 0, all I'm left with is c, which implies that c equals 0. So my position function is t cubed over 3, or displacement position, minus t squared over 2 minus 2t. Okay, so that's part A. Part B, find the total distance traveled. So I have to find out when the velocity is equal to 0, because that is when it would be changing direction. Okay, so I have to set the velocity. When the velocity is 0, then the particle changes direction because it has to stop to change direction. So if I factor that, t minus 2 times t plus 1, so that gives me a change in direction at t equals 2 and t equals negative 1. But I can cross that out because we are only dealing with positive time. Time is positive. Okay, so t equals 2. So I need to find first 3 seconds of motion. I know that s of 0 is 0. S of 2, so if I replace 2 into this function here, I'm not going to do the arithmetic, that is equal to negative 10 thirds. And then it's at the end of 3 seconds, so I have to find the position after 3 seconds. And S of 3, if I put it into this function, replacing t with 3, I get negative 3 halves. Okay, so my motion diagram, let's say this is 0, and am I going to start off when t equals 0, the velocity is negative, so I'm moving to the left to negative 10 thirds. I'm also at a negative position there. So negative 10 thirds is what? Negative 3 1/3. So I go here, and then I turn and I get back all the way to, I don't know, negative 3 halves, negative 1, and 1 half. So I traveled 3 1/3 plus the distance from 3 1/3 to 1 1/2. So that would be 3 1/3 plus 3 1/3 minus 3 halves. And if you work all that out, that's equal to 5 1/6. Okay? And so the displacement is just going to be the comparison of where we started to where we ended up. And you don't even really have to think about that. It ended up at negative 1 1/2, which is 1 1/2. What are we doing? Centimeters? Yeah, centimeters from where it started. So C is simply 1 1/2 centimeters. Centimeters here. All right, that is it. I am out.